Part 50. The Commandment of Hijrah. Allah commanded the remaining believers to make hijrah. This was primarily addressing the new converts to Islam in Mecca, as well as any secret Muslims who were yet to disclose their conversion publicly. Over the course of a number of verses, gradually increasing in encouragement and warning, Allah's counsel became a stern legal order. The first of these verses was in Surah Al-Hajj.
As for those who emigrate in the cause of Allah and then are martyred or die, Allah will indeed grant them a good provision. Surely Allah is the best provider. Surah 22, verse 58.
This is contrasted to the verses of Surah Al-Nisa revealed 2 to 3 years later.
When the angel sees the souls of those who have wronged themselves, scolding them, "What is wrong with you?" they will reply, "We were oppressed in the land." The angels will respond, "Was Allah's earth not vast enough for you to emigrate?" It is they who will have hell as their home. What an evil destination. Surah 4, verse 97.
It is the sunnah of Allah to implement laws gradually for the believers to digest and reflect. For example, the prohibition of consuming alcohol was implemented over a number of years. First, Allah revealed,
They ask you about intoxicants and gambling. Say there is great evil in both, as well as some benefit for people, but the evil outweighs the benefit. Surah 2, verse 219.
Then He revealed,
O believers, do not approach prayer while intoxicated until you are aware of what you say. Surah 2, verse 43.
Finally, the prohibition was absolute after the verse,
O believers, intoxicants, gambling, idols, and drawing lots for decisions are all evil of Shaitan's handiwork, so shun them so you may be successful. Surah 5, verse 90.
This example perfectly encapsulates Islam's approach to reform, giving people time to digest as well as instilling long-term change. The stern verses of Surah Al-Nisa regarding the Hijrah were revealed after some Muslims died on the battlefield in the Battle of Badr on the side of the Quraysh. There were Muslims who did not yet feel ready to disclose their faith, and they continued to live amongst the Quraysh. When the Battle of Badr ensued, they were forced to participate on behalf of the Quraysh, and while they did not actively fight or kill any Muslims, some of them died from arrows or in the commotion of war. Allah then revealed the above-mentioned verses detailing their conversations with the angels, years after being initially instructed to partake in the Hijrah. Ibn Abbas explains that they were told by Allah that they have no excuse not to emigrate, and that they were sent this verse. Some Muslims then tried to emigrate, and the Quraysh dissuaded them. Allah then revealed verses of Surah Al-Ankabut.
There are some who say, "We believe in Allah," but when they are irritated in the cause of Allah, they equate persecution at the hands of people to the punishment of Allah. But when victory comes from your Lord, they surely say, "We have always been with you." Does Allah not know best what is in the hearts of all beings? Surah 29, verse 10.
Allah uses the verb udiya, which can be translated as irritated or hurt, denoting the minuscule nature of their test in comparison to the cause. Junda ibn Damrah was a Muslim in Mecca when this verse was revealed. However, he was blind and decrepit. He was so old that he could not physically walk. Nevertheless, when he heard this verse, he said,
I am not of those who have an excuse. I will not spend another night in Mecca.
He then ordered his servants to lift him up from his bed and carry him outside the city. He had no feasible plan of getting to Medina, so he put his trust in Allah, and Allah bestowed His mercy and caused him to pass away in Tanim, just outside Mecca. As he was dying, he put his right hand onto his left hand and said,
O Allah, this is my pledge of allegiance to the Prophet.
When the Muslims in Medina heard, they bemoaned his case, citing that he almost made it. Allah then revealed the next 2 verses of Surah Al-Nisa.
Except helpless men, women, and children who cannot afford a way out. It is right to hope that Allah will pardon them, for Allah is ever pardoning, all forgiving. Surah 4, verses 98 to 99.
After the Battle of Handak in 5 after Hijri, the rules surrounding Hijrah became more relaxed. After the conquest of Mecca in 8 after Hijrah, the ruling was abrogated. The Prophet said, "There is no Hijrah after the conquest of Mecca." The Prophet was referring to Hijrah with a capital H, referring to the divinely ordained emigration from Mecca to Medina. The Prophet did not forbid emigrating for the sake of Allah thereafter, but the special status as well as the legal obligation of the emigration ceased. After Mecca was liberated, the official phase of emigration was over, as Mecca was finally under Islamic rule. Fudayk, a new Muslim in a pagan land, once approached the Prophet.
O Messenger of Allah, the people are saying whoever does not do hijrah will be destroyed, and my people are upon shirk.
The Prophet replied, O Fudayk, establish the prayer, avoid evil deeds, and live with your people wherever you like.